Hey, this is David Wade with the Mortgage Edge podcast, brought to you by Click and Close Mortgage. Today, I got a very special guest, South Texas, New Braunfels, Austin, San Antonio area, Yeats Pearson. Yeats, welcome to the show. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you, David? It's good to be here.
I'm, I'm good. I'm good. Well, I've been super excited about this, man. A young guy like you, killing it in the real estate world. Let's kind of rewind a little bit and start about your journey. How long have you been in real estate? How'd you get started?
So, been in real estate 4.5 years now, working to get my broker's license, but I got into the business just for real estate investing. That's what I was going to do. I had a previous career in the manufacturing industry, started doing that when I was 18 and just kind of was there 5 years, and then let's see, I was like, let me go a little bit further. But after I turned 25, started thinking bigger picture and what I wanted to put my money into, and I found real estate investing. And so I was just going to learn about real estate investing and do that on the side. And then 2020 happened, COVID and all of that fun stuff. So I decided to get my real estate license and switch careers because I knew it would immerse me in the industry and help me out with the investing side. And it just kind of went from there. Fell in love with it, and then personal growth and development became a big part of my life. And that's what's got me to this road where I'm at now.
Well, you know what's amazing? So many people changed their careers during COVID.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people found their last calling or whatever. But you're kind of a unique breed. I mean, you're a thinker, a grower. Let's talk about some stuff. You're a coach.
Yes.
You also wrote some books, development books. Let's talk about that before you did that before you even got into real estate, didn't you? During the process?
It was during the process, yes. I think entrepreneurialism, just being an entrepreneur, it's all about personal growth and development. And that was one thing, getting into real estate, treating it like a business, not just a job. You are your own boss, whether you work for a brokerage or you're your own broker, you have to treat it as yours. Take full responsibility. So when I switched careers, started doing networking, and I met a coach, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, well, let me hire a coach and see if she can help me. So she helped me with more, asking me a lot of questions that I never asked myself about what I was really wanting out of life and where I wanted to go. And she also helped with little things like branding and marketing and stuff that I had never had to do before in my previous career. So I saw a lot of value in what she did for me, and I wanted to do that for other people as well. It became something that I was more passionate about. So I got a coaching certification through Texas State University, certified professional life coach. And then my brokerage, eXp Realty, we also bought Success Magazine, which has been around for about 130 years. And from there, we created Success Coaching and Success Lending. And so then I went through another coaching certification with Success Coaching, more neuro-linguistic programming, and just a lot of stuff that I really enjoyed. I'm certified in DISC personality assessment. So the more that I learned about myself and the more that I worked on myself, I started seeing a direct correlation to the growth in my business. The more self-aware I became, the more emotional intelligence that I had, the more that it benefited me working with my clients and building relationships within the community. So that was something that any agents that I bring on, I tell them, the more you work on yourself, the more it'll transfer into your business. So that through that process, I got into taking classes on social media and education. I had somebody reach out to me from my Instagram, and they were a book publisher, and I had always thought about writing a book, but they really helped me just dial in the process of what it would take to write a book. And so it was through through the training, networking, putting myself out there on social media, that made the connection with a publisher and published a book at the end of 2023, and hit Amazon bestseller list for consulting. And it's personal growth and development, kind of sharing about my life and everything that I learned through changing careers and through personal growth and development.
That's awesome. So that's Success Leadership. That's through ESP, or is that?
Yeah. So Success, EXP, they have their own division, Success Coaching and Success Lending. I've just really narrowed in on the coaching part of the business for it. I don't necessarily have to coach real estate agents. I've coached chiropractors, registered dietitians, massage therapists, business owners. It's a holistic style of coaching where we're looking at all of the different aspects of your life. And then from there, I'm certified with a guy named Brendan Burchard, who's one of the top in performance coaches. Yeah, so I'm a certified high performance coach with him. And the first two coaching certifications I really enjoyed, and I felt like I had a lot of the ingredients, but not the right recipe. I didn't get a lot of training on how to run a coaching session, how to build a coaching business. And with Brendan Burchard, he has a very structured program to take someone through a 12-week coaching program where every week has a specific outcome. First week, we're looking at all of the areas of your life, your health and wellness, your finances. The next week, we get more clarity on where you're wanting to go, and then look at your energy. What are you doing in your life that gives you the energy in order to accomplish all of the tasks and the things that you want to accomplish to have a fulfilling life? And so that's been a game changer for me, as evaluating the opportunities in life through a lens that I've already gained clarity on where I want to go, and looking through that lens, I can easily determine if it's something as a fit or not a fit.
Man, that's awesome. And are you still coaching today, all these different industries, or are you just focused on real estate right now?
Real estate is the majority. That's my main focus. I still do the real estate production. I have a select few personal coaching clients, but I don't take on too many because that's more of my long-term vision. In the future, I see myself doing more personal growth and development, coaching, public speaking, but the core of my business is real estate sales, working with investors, working with individuals and families to help them buy and sell residential real estate, and now helping agents learn the process of doing that as well. So growing my team with EXP, bringing on agents to help them be successful, to kind of share what I've learned that's helped me be successful in the industry.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about your market, man. You're in New Braunfels, but you serve everything from San Antonio all the way to Austin. Is that correct?
Yeah. I don't get too much into Austin or too far into San Antonio. New Braunfels is where I live. It's kind of, we're one of the top places to move to in the U.S. National Association of Realtors ranked us in the top 10 for most desirable cities. We're a somewhat of a tourist town. We have two rivers that we have lots of tubing. People come here on vacation. We also have a big water park called Schlitterbahn. The growth that we've had from 2010, it was a population of about 52,000 people, and now we're at about 120,000 people in the last 15 years. So the growth has been phenomenal. We're in between San Antonio and Austin, so you get people who can get higher paying jobs and they just commute to work, but then they have a more small town vibe where it's still, everybody knows each other here. It's still very quaint and charming. In the winter time, it looks like something out of a Hallmark movie. The whole downtown is lit up. We have festivals. One of the biggest attractions is Wurstfest. It's a 11-day German beer and sausage festival, so that brings in people from all over the world. And then they just find an excuse to shut down the streets for kind of any festival We've got Dia de los Muertes, we have Wassail Fest, we have just every month, pretty much out of the year, we got something going on, parades and events that draw crowds from all over the country.
Well, it's one of the best kept secrets, but
Yeah.
it's not. I don't know. It's too much of a secret anymore because, like I said, it's nestled right between San Antonio and Austin, right in the middle, and it's growing. It's growing like crazy. It seems like they're doubling, right, every year
Yep.
over year. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And
and
so,
what's it like down there? So let's talk about the new construction part of it because I know you do a lot of new
mhm.
construction, and I know that you do a lot of the investors. Let's
Yes.
talk about that in a few minutes. I always say when investors start buying, is whenever it's the market's out of people's realms. So are investors still buying in this market?
Yes, absolutely. So I have a niche group of investors that they only buy new construction. They don't do fix and flips. They don't look for distressed properties. They identify an area that is economically thriving. They're looked at they have multiple properties in other states. They looked at Texas and they were like, okay, where in Texas is going to be the next move? And you got what we call the Texas Triangle, which is from Dallas down to Houston, over to San Antonio, back up to Dallas. So everything in that like triangle is really, really doing well. And then just our area, the Austin, San Antonio, I-35 corridor has so much growth and economically thriving. They established that this would be a good area to look at. So like I said, I've done a lot of social media. I built a YouTube channel and posted every week consistently for a year and a half before I got a good lead and had some good leads. But these have been the best clients that I've worked with. And so they buy new construction and then turn it over to a local property manager and put a long-term renter in there. We're typically buying at the lower price point, entry-level homes, but they get a good return on their investment here. We have a lot of inventory in New Braunfels, the most we've seen in the last couple of years. 2022 was probably the peak, and 2023 slowed down a little bit. We've had more of a market correction. So it's really great for investors looking to get some long-term appreciation. The homes you can get at a more affordable price. You're looking in Austin area, entry level homes are going to be 400, 500,000. Here in New Braunfels, you can still get into homes under 300,000, mid 250s, new construction. So for investors and first time home buyers, this is a really great area to get in, especially now. On the resale side, we've seen a little bit more struggle with people having to sell and compete with the new construction. So that's been an obstacle that we're working to, overcome. But it's still booming business here in New Braunfels.
So is the market busier in New Braunfels than in the Austin, San Antonio area? They're saying Austin real estate is declining, right? The market, or is it not?
I can't speak too much to Austin. Like I said, I stay away from that market. But yes, we have people that come down from Austin to purchase here. So we haven't seen any slowdown in our area as far as people buying and selling. The interest rates being a little bit higher, that's not keeping the people away who want to buy and live here in the New Braunfels area.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, that's awesome. Right now, what stays on market for your listings?
It depends on the listing. We have some people that bought in the peak of 2022, and then now we're sitting, but it's averaging about 100 days on market for the resale market here in New Braunfels. So it's
That's
a little bit
right across the country.
Yeah. The sellers, it's more of a mindset shift or repositioning their expectations from what they heard over the last few years, when especially 22, 21, 22, 23, houses were moving really quickly. And so now the market kind of caught up with the demand. We had so much demand, and now we've got the inventory, so it's just put a little bit of pause on the days on market.
Well, you're super busy. One thing I was to ask for top producing realtors like yourself is, how do you generate your leads? I know a lot of your leads are organic. Do you buy leads, or is it all organic sphere of influences?
Yeah, organic. I've never bought leads. My mentor paid for some Google PPC for a while and let me like work those leads, but it just wasn't for me. I think part of being successful in real estate is finding your niche, finding what works for you. I would call the leads; they were technically warm leads, and I didn't feel like it was the best use of my time. It wasn't fulfilling to me. I was kind of dreading it, and I finally just said, this isn't for me. So, what has worked for me is community involvement, belly to belly relationships, going out and networking in the community. I'm involved in a lot of different things. So, from the Junior Chamber of Commerce, like we have our own chapter here. I'm on the philanthropy committee there, getting involved in my real estate board, doing leadership programs, again, personal growth and development. It's finding what you already like and then going and doing that thing. And then as a byproduct, I'm also a realtor. So I've gotten deals I went through Texas Realtors Leadership Program, and I've gotten referrals from realtors from other cities and states. I built my online digital resume. Essentially, when somebody Googles my name, they look at my Google reviews. Between all of my social media posts and my YouTube channels, and then different articles that I've been featured in. All of that just adds to when somebody looks me up as a realtor, like I'm very involved in the community. So with the community involvement, it also gives me a better understanding of the growth and what's going on, what communities are coming here. Like we have two big, we have Mayfair community, which is a 1,900 acre master plan community with over 300 acres of public parks and 35 miles of hike and bike trails, and kind of like it's going to have its own Midtown Mayfair, which is going to have shopping, dining. So knowing about what's going on in the community is definitely beneficial, and I learned those things through the leadership programs that I'm in, through the governmental affairs committees that I sit on with the board of realtors. So just staying plugged in and being a resource for people. In my videos that I make, they're more community oriented of what's it like to live in New Braunfels. So highlighting restaurants, highlighting the tubing, what are the activities to do when you come visit here, and then just being a resource for people. So that's an overall picture of what has worked for me. The social media, in-person networking, leadership programs, building relationships within the community, and that's what. When I got in the business, my mentor asked me, "Do you want a relational business or a transactional business?" And I was very intentional with building relationships rather than just doing transactions.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because you kind of led into something that I want to talk about, and that's social media. A lot of realtors are not, especially the older realtors, are not into social media.
Yeah.
You have a pretty good footprint when it comes to YouTube and social and stuff like that. Where are you focused mostly on, or is it everything?
So YouTube is the one that has the most outreach. YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world behind Google. When people are looking to move to a new place, they want to see what it's like living there. So, the name of my channel is Living in New Braunfels because people are typing in what's it like to live in New Braunfels, Texas. The amount of people who now watch YouTube on their smart TVs rather than their phone is the stats are crazy because they're sitting there for prolonged periods of time actually watching it like they would TV. And so they'll just go down the rabbit hole and watch several of your videos about the community. So if you have an assortment of videos, like I have one on the best public parks in New Braunfels, and then here's what it's like in Canyon Lake, which is another city really close to us, and here's what it's like in Seguin. So they get a kind of a broad overview, and then I'll have some talking about the prices of homes and doing videos on new home communities and model homes and like Mayfair that I was talking about. So YouTube has the most reach and it has the most high intention um, buyers or leads because they are actively going and searching for this rather than on short form content. It's interruption based marketing. Like they're scrolling through their social media and you're interrupting their scroll. Whereas the YouTube is intentional, they are intentionally going and searching for something. So I think YouTube has had the highest return on investment for me, but then the short form, I stay top of mind with everybody who already knows me. So YouTube, new leads, far outreach, qualified buyers. Social media, short form content is more so stay top of mind with everybody so that they continually know that I'm active, I'm in real estate. So when it comes time for them to buy or sell, they think of me. And then following it up with I'll take my YouTube videos and put them into Opus AI and chop them down to smaller clips, and then I'll go put those clips on my social media platforms.
You just didn't know this, but that everything you gave are great pro tips. Yeah. With that being said, let's talk about your agents, man. How many agents do you have?
Currently, I just have two. I know that I don't need to be well versed in order to bring more agents on, but I'm a learner and I don't like not having the answer to a question. So like I said, I'm working to get my broker's license, so I've really positioned myself to have a great value proposition for bringing agents on. I've had some come and go, and with any brokerage, you have like agent retention. That's going to be a constant, ongoing struggle. Is how do I keep these agents? So I put more focus on building myself up to have the skills and the tools and the resources to help my agents be successful. I also want to bring agents on who are very much similar to me in that they like personal growth and development. I want them to prioritize their health and their families first before just going out and selling, selling, selling. If you make $1 million and you're super successful, but you neglect all of your relationships, then what's it all for? So that's very important to me. I prioritize my family first and my health first before I go try and take care of anybody else. And so setting myself up to bring agents on with a similar mindset. And also, I'm a certified mentor, so I have about 8 agents that I mentor. When they come onto the business, if they haven't done a deal in the last 12 months, then they get a mentor for their first 3 deals. Well, I've got agents that haven't done anything. 71% of agents last year closed 0 deals. And so I want to be more intentional with the agents that I'm attracting by me being a high performer, me being a successful real estate agent. I want to attract those same agents who are also going to be producing. Because if I bring on agents that aren't producing, it's not beneficial for me or them. I want to make sure that they have the tools and the drive to be successful in this business.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Well, man, I could sit here and talk to you all day, and we will probably start another podcast. But before I let you go, what should we have talked about that we didn't talk about today?
Can't think of anything right now, but just I think to be successful in any business, it takes consistency, and that's the one thing that I focused on the most. Is I don't have to be better than everybody else, but I just have to be more consistent. So I think I wear shirts a lot of times that say 1% better every day. I have it tattooed on myself, and so that's been my mindset in this business, is not to overwhelm myself with thinking of these huge goals. I have big long-term goals, but it's one day at a time and just focusing on getting 1% better every day, being consistent over the long term. And I know I have faith in the forward momentum that I've created by just sticking to those small, achievable tasks repeated daily.
Well, you're very humble because I've seen your numbers and you're doing really great things out there.
Thank you.
And if I'm a client and I want to buy real estate in the New Brunswick area, and I want to find you, and I know they do, how do they find you? How do they get hold of you?
Well, the best way is you can give me a phone call at 512-749-6532. Other than that, my name is difficult, so I'm sure you'll put it on the screen. You can Google my name or Yitz, your TX Realtor on all social media.
And if you're watching this live instead of listening to it on the podcast, you saw that go across the lower thirds. Guys, man, if you're looking for real estate, whether it's investing or buying or selling or whatever you need, it's your guy. He's a great guy, high performer, and will for sure deliver on what you need. Well, I'm David Wynn. I'm with the Mortgage Edge Podcast. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. You guys have a great weekend. Bye, guys.
Bye.